Hello everybody, I'm Peter Glop, and today I'm giving you my top 10 favorite Lego Knights villains because because we basically have like a month and a couple of, and I believe 2.5 weeks before the next season comes, so I think it will be a great time to go through some old villains. And also, I feel like I should start calling this month Lego Nexo Nights month, considering the fact this is my third video in a row. And I remember exactly the first video I made this month was as much connected to the other themes. It was just general all themes, which even that I brought out Lego Nexo Nights. So I think I should probably just call this Lego Nexo Nights month. Who cares? Now, first thing, this is all my personal opinion, so if you disagree, that's fine. You have your own visions, I have mine. Now also, I don't own any of these images. All of these images belong to the rightful owners, which is Cartoon Network and Lego. And with that said, let's get on with this list. Number 10. Lord Crocenskull. Now, his design is much better for these forgotten commander, so he's already the underlist just for design and the fucking name, and his beast is amazing. So yeah, due to his personality, it's not exactly known because he didn't exactly appear much. Hell, even his debut episode, he didn't really do much. And honestly, he's been kind of forgotten, so it's kind of sad, but then again, I do kind of understand why they would push Ham back, but I would still wish they would do more with Ham. Besides, it's not like all the villains got their rightful spotlight in the Stone Army season, so it's, I guess, not that much different. Anyway, nothing much else to say about him except a cool design, but not enough of a character. Number 9. The Three Stone Brothers. I'm grouping them as a trio because they're all basically the same, only different designs. Now, their whole story, the fact that they can hold their on their own with magic users, is a great thing. And the fact that they're supposed to be this powerful, but unfortunately they didn't use them as much as they should. I mean, granted, I do still kind of understand that, but I wish they would do something more with them. I mean, I guess it's also the fact that the strongest one of the three was reduced to a car because he kind of lost his arms and legs, which, considering how big his head is, I don't exactly think they were able to dig him out, considering the fact that his hat was literally the thing they came across. So yeah, it's kind of confusing, but let's not focus on that. Now, now we see them escaping in the final of season 4, so it's possible they will make a reappearance. Who knows? Maybe they actually will join up back with Monstrox, but we don't know. I still hope they come back and do something, because they are a cool design and they're pretty great. Number 8. Sparks. Out of two fire giants, Sparks definitely had more of a character, more of a better design, and just better, if you ask me. I like the fact that he's not that he cannot exactly hide behind an army that well as much as everybody else can, because he's actually has more of a blacker tone and lava within, and not just entire red body and yellow outside. So it's a little better to think. And his whole character quirks with his power Browners, I think his name was, the red one's name was. But since, you know, he's more of a comedic giant person and literally just there to pull the evil mobile and not much of a combat thing. It's kinda with him. Hell, technically the whole battling thing, we can technically blame that upon the whole thing that one strike and they are defeated. So if it won't be so easy to defeat them, it will be better. I was kind of glad that he's went more of a weird, better recurring villain than when the episode when the Law Masters came back. So yeah, he was a pretty decent character. Number 7. Beastmaster. Now, for me, Beastmaster was really where these commanders from Lava Masters started, because the first two were just there for muscle and he was actually in charge. His whole being in charge of the two small monsters is great. It is a great idea. His design is alright, and just in general, the whole his vehicle is great. But I do like they actually used them as a decoy for those ruin statues. It's a great idea, and he's just great. Although I wish he would do more, but since I understand they wanted to push him back, it was kind of understandable why he got the short end of the stick. Number 6. Lavaria. Lavaria's design is great. Her whole theme would be more of a disguise and all that was decent. And the whole little joke video with her and Lance, how she didn't said that she would go in jail instead of getting that sledge thing, was pretty decent. Although I wish that she could, be more infiltrated, maybe in one episode she would be sneaking into the school and then kidnapping Ava or something like that. Which, at the end of the day, I can basically say with all of these villains, I wish they could do more. But I can understand that. Plus, her voice was decent and it was a great thing. It's too bad they couldn't focus on it more than they had to. Well, more than they need to. I'm totally confused right now. So let's just go to the next one. Number 5. Stone Clay. Although he's kinda iffy if you can include him as a villain, but I personally will include him as a villain because he's just, he was a domination. I mean, he began as a villain, then he had a little minor ratio, then he came back to his normal personality, but then he still had his outbursts with still more villains, and generally the last thing he technically do was attacking people. So yeah, you kinda can include him as a villain. But even so, it's kinda iffy. He was still a great character doing that. Like how he was basically incredibly more skillful than them. How the fact that he was a pretty dominant soldier, and the fact they actually had to be careful not to kill him, and was very great. And plus, he didn't exactly need a nexo power to destroy all the Storm Monsters. So yeah, he was a great idea and a great example of a great whole not exactly brainwashing thing. Because again, it was turned to stone and then evil and then awakened for Montrox's magic. So it was pretty great. And hell, Jasper and Montrox both really liked the whole thing of Star was alright. Although I wish that Jasper would kind of have a mixed reaction to that whole thing, not just automatically happy, like maybe he would be feeling bad or something, but maybe he wasn't even aware that, but maybe he just wasn't exactly 100% aware. Maybe he just thought it was just a statue that was incredibly with his mind. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the case, but maybe he was kind of skeptical. Like maybe he actually thought that he was just incredibly damaged or something. Number 4. General Magmar. Now here is a general that's actually great. Now, for starters, his whole thing that he was the second in command and how he was already aware of everything as soon as he popped out was pretty much decent because everybody else was kind of well, I don't know, kind of gave me a weird idea. Yeah. Plus, his whole thing that he actually became automatically the new leader of the lava town was great because sometimes these generals who are being said that these incredibly intelligent and all that don't really work because then they have them act like buffoons. Hell, if you want to go by a statue, right, he's like one of the few villain generals who isn't a buffoon. In this modern time. His design is great, although I'm not a big fan of his vehicle. He's still a pretty great figure, and just a great idea. And he was introduced pretty early in the second season, so it was already that. Although I wish we would see him fight more, like maybe he could actually, present more of a physical challenge against the Nexo, not instead of being defeated as everybody else, but people just can't be choosers. Just how they wanted that to go through. Maybe if there were like 20 episodes instead of like 12 or 14, maybe they could have him do more, but again, I can decide just for now. Number 3. Ruina Stoneheart. The whole thing with her was great. Her introduction was a little bad, but considering the fact she's one of the few sets that actually are connected to the TV show, like, seriously. How come half the sets don't ever make it like a fan in the cartoon? I mean, why do they always just appear in a show and they not even have a close thing? I don't really know, but again, it was a great fact that she actually did have more like that her set was in the cartoon. So the next thing in season 2 was season 4, to be fair, was great. I mean, the whole beginning was already reassembled something, like as soon as Stone Clay and Ruina touch was already something. The fact that Clay kind of basically confirmed that she can constantly beat him was great because not that many times we get really the idea that there are villains that can defeat the enemy because how easily they get destroyed. Seriously, maybe that's the reason why so many monsters we want to have them do more always get so easily. It's because they always get defeated like once. Which I don't think I already brought out, so I may just be ranting about nothing. Ugh. Anyway. Rina's whole thing with her being Clay's mother and the whole fact that she actually is gonna be appearing was great. Although I wish we would at least get a different minifigure of her if she is going to have a designed, or maybe at least a battle pack or something. Think with her, but I guess this figure is good enough. Plus, it is quite wondering what will her role, how will she act with Monstrucks, because with Jester and Monstruck, it was pretty much a comedy show, like one being incompetent evil wizard in training, while the other being a competent wizard in training and always restoring him the most basics of evil and annoyance. But at the end of the day, Jester also had to express annoyance because he wasn't exactly the most great thing. So yeah, it was kind of but for now it's pretty. I can like the potential they're going to have with her and Monstrux's conversations, and she's gonna be one of the plus she's basically one of the most real. She's basically on the third on the list of the most recurring villains, so give something to that. Number 2. Jastro. Wasn't even skeptical if Jastro was going to be on the list. I mean, at some point, I mean, his design is in all, both Lava Monster and Storm Monster is great. I'm still kind of getting whole style with him being a good guy thing, so I'm not gonna be so I'm not exactly going to be liking his new design that much. His whole new his whole staffs were great. I mean, they were pretty decent staffs to be used, and the fact that he did show more competence as he went along, even though he did have a couple of incompetent moments, was alright. And the whole thing with him being evil and all that was in the Lava Monster season really good. Although they seemed to kind of forget about it when it came to Stone Monsters. But I guess that could be somewhat explained. I guess it was basically supposed to be more focused on the whole Clay being stoned, and there's only that much people can really do with two seasons. Only given when it comes to these Stone Monsters things. And yeah, Gesture was a great character and a great villain. Yeah, and you know, again, he's one of the most recurring villains, number 2 to be fair, so yeah, he's a great villain. Nothing more to say about him. And number 1 is Monstrox. Was it even going to be debated? I mean, we see him as a human, we see him as a book, we see him as a cloud, and now we're gonna see him as a virus. Hell, now we're gonna see him as a holographic spider, the robotic virus. So yeah, we see him. Talk about a character that gets who has like 3 different designs to him. So yeah, Monstrox is pretty great of antagonist. I mean, for first, we were kind of wondering where he came from, how the Book of Monsters, or anything. But then when we were revealed he was actually the most powerful for Dark Source Mancer in Nighttime was pretty fucking great. And yeah, he's somehow, and considering how comedic he is, he's one of the few comedy-focused villains who actually still has a presence to him. Like it always seems like he's just restricted by the bodies he has. I mean, seriously, as a Book of Monsters, he couldn't do much. As a cloud, he was restricted to the lightning and raining, and even that was the size thing. And now we're going to get him as a virus who, outside the spider form, he's not going to be able to interact much, so yeah, talk about a villain who's always restricted by the bodies. How? It's possible even if Monstrox was always in charge and he actually had a body that could actually be functional, like the Stone Colossus one he had, which is another one, he actually could probably take over Night Tank. I mean, and also I'm wondering how he'll become the virus form. It's a pretty great thing. Also, I like the way he was at the end of the season 4, how he was a giant Colossus. Much better. And hell, this is one of the few times where a giant Colossus in Lego actually, in cartoons, actually are dominated. So yeah, he's a great villain, his personality is great, he's generally just the best one. And one of the few villains where you can actually wonder how much of the weakness does he have in his bodies differently. Now, like I already said, this is all my personal opinion, so I would like to see what yours are. Anyway, leave a like and subscribe if you like this video. And don't forget to vote for Venomina. And I cannot wait to see all of you next time. Bye.